Right now at noon, what students should keep in mind about their cell phones as a new school year kicks off.
Plus, the rain clears out and we see cooler temperatures coming up.
And Pitt State students kick off the fall semester.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
2 shootings in Joplin early yesterday morning have led authorities to believe they are related. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. The first shooting occurred yesterday at 2 a.m. near 9th Street and Grand Avenue. First responders arrived to a large party at a private residence where there was a male victim with a gunshot wound. The male was transported to an area hospital, Priority 1. Less than an hour later and less than a mile away at 2:40 a.m., Joplin police were alerted to another shooting behind the East 7th neighborhood market. At that scene, one male was transported to an area hospital non-emergency. This is a developing story. We'll have more information as it becomes available on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A motorcycle crash in Newton County, Missouri leaves 1 man dead. It happened yesterday afternoon just after 1:30 p.m. The man, Joshua Westfall of Neosho, was traveling northbound on Falcon Road, 1/3 of a mile north of Ice Road, where he crashed. Next of kin have been notified. Now here's meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney with the latest weather.
Well, we have rain showers that started through the morning and they're trailing showers. So you might see some areas on the road where there may be a little bit more rainfall accumulated, but most of the rainfall has moved out of here, starting to dissipate, already moved outside of Joplin, Miami, now moving down to maybe Grove, but Bentonville is definitely going to get some rain. Cassville just cleared out of those rain showers as well. Rainfall that we've seen so far up to about 2 inches near Garnett, Mound City, just west of Nevada, Fort Scott, Lamar area, and then down south of Miami as well. The rest of us received about 1 inch, maybe up to 1.5 inches. Not getting a lot of rainfall with the rain showers today, but luckily temperatures do cool down because of them, and I'll have those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, Joplin schools held a bus camp Saturday morning in preparation for the upcoming school year. Kids aged kindergarten through 1st grade were invited to learn about bus safety and bus stop rules. Attendees were also given a complimentary ride to get more comfortable with the school bus. Northeastern Oklahoma A&M welcomed over 600 students to their living facility Saturday. Move-in took place from noon to 4 p.m., followed by a business and community fair in the evening. Classes at NEO are scheduled to start today.
It is a very welcoming hometown feel. I love that everyone knows everyone and everyone's watching out for you and wants you to succeed.
NEO has a variety of events scheduled for this welcome week, with students encouraged to participate and explore their new campus. And incoming students to Missouri Southern State University were able to pick what organizations they wanted to join. The Campus Craze event allowed students to choose between 50 different campus organizations ranging from Greek life, pottery, esports, and much more.
I think it's so important for students to kind of find a place where they can belong. It just makes their college experience that much more meaningful, whether they're from around the area or came from states away to live in our dorms. Finding a club or organization is just going to impact their college experience, and I just love seeing students have fun and make those good connections.
MSSU says they found that students who participate in their clubs are more likely to graduate. Well, today is the first day of classes for Pittsburgh State University students, and PSU is hosting a variety of back-to-school events for students returning to campus for the fall semester throughout the week, including first day photos and community and involvement fairs.
Definitely just establishing new friendships that will help to build me and build the people around me. You just meet great people in college, and it's a great time to just grow as a person.
For more back-to-school stories, you can visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, as the school year begins, many schools are making an effort to remind students and parents of the cell phone policies that are in place. KOAM's Anthony Saviello spoke with the Carthage and Lamar school districts about what their expectations are when it comes to cell phones.
At the K through 8 level, it's a don't have it out, don't let it be seen. We don't have a policy that goes so far as, we're not going to be searching students for cell phones, but listen, we don't want to see it. At the high school level, we give our teachers the ability to understand what that, to develop what that rule is for their own classroom.
Overall, though, the policies are pretty well aligned with the understanding that we do not want devices being a distraction in the classroom. So anything we can do to help student engagement in the classroom and minimize those distractions, that's our overall goal as a district.
As far as using computers in the classroom, we typically try not to use cell phones where computers can be used. But we do have classrooms where, classes where students will record videos for, a presentation or a project. So it's, the computer doesn't always replace the cell phone one-to-one. So
parents are very supportive. As a district, we continue to encourage parents to educate their kids on appropriate cell phone use and everything as well. In our district, we have a lot of kids that walk to and from school. They're in sports after schools, or they're in other activities and clubs. That parents do like them to have a cell phone so that way they can call home, which completely is understandable.
In all of the information that we give our parents, they know when the times are that students can have the phones out. They understand that it's at teacher's directive. Those rules should be stated at the beginning of the year. We don't want our teachers to have policy one day that switches the next day, that goes back the following day. So it should be consistent, and it's hopefully through that consistency that our students and our parents know when it's practical to use phones and when it's not.
Coming up, the Pittsburgh community members will look to revitalize the city's farmers market. And later, we're making pasta rustica in the Mr. Food. Community and board members gathered at Lincoln Center in Pittsburgh to discuss the future of the city's farmers market. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the details.
I started 2 weeks ago, and I immediately wanted to get people together to give their input because, they make up the market, not the city.
The future of the Pittsburgh Farmers Market was discussed during a meeting at Lincoln Center in Pittsburgh. Keller Irwin, the newly appointed manager of the Farmers Market, told us about his history with the market and why it's important for the city.
The first time I worked the market, just as a cover, I wasn't too enthusiastic. But then I got there and realized just kind of the community that's behind it. And I think that plays a large part. It's a place for people to come and talk and meet people and make friends, have some nice music, and then also pick up products where you can't get at, Walmart, where our, homegrown, homemade, stuff made with love. So
some of the topics discussed at the meeting were sponsorships, grant funding, marketing strategies, and ways to keep customers and vendors alike happy. Irwin also explained his reasoning for undertaking responsibility for the farmers market and its processes.
Just the community aspect of it. I've lived here my whole life. I'll be here until I graduate at least. And I've been working at Parks and Rec for customer service for over a year, and just, had seen kind of some failures in the market, and the opportunity to come in here and, when you go there on a Saturday morning, you see the ton of smiling faces and people enjoying the products that they find. And, it's really a great time.
According to the board, the main goal is to revitalize the market, bring in new customers, and build relationships with local businesses. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
This farmers market season will last until late October, occurring every Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Miners Hall Museum in Franklin hosted a special program yesterday. The program was a part of the Game On exhibit that highlights games from the 50s and 60s. Some games include Chinese checkers, card games, and Monopoly. Guests were also presented with the history of the game as well.
When we were putting together the list of games that we thought about playing, kind of revisiting, I remember that, and we even as adults don't often take time to play those games with our kids and grandkids. So
you can check out the exhibit from now until September 28th. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Grab your twirling fork and bring your appetite, because today we're whipping up a pasta dish that's simply amazing. And to think, you can do it in less than 30 minutes.
And we are clearing out from the rain and seeing a drop in temperatures. I'll talk about that right after the break. Rain started yesterday afternoon, has been continuing intermittently since then. Take a looking outside, down 7th range line in Joplin. You can see it's not raining anymore out in Joplin. Rain's cleared out, but we're still waiting on those clouds to clear out. And then we're gonna have a pretty decent day. Temperatures are gonna be relatively cool today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Finally, you can see a little break where the clouds are starting to shift south. Chanute, Nevada is going to be clear. Pittsburgh and Joplin is next. And then you can see those rain showers in those southern counties. That's finally starting to clear out. We don't have many chances of rain coming up, but we do have that drop in temperatures. Even just yesterday morning, 10 a.m. to about noon, temperatures rose from low 80s to low 90s. But today, we're still in the low 70s. It's only about 73 degrees out in Joplin right now. We did have those rain showers keeping us cool, but temperatures in general are just going to stay relatively lower than what we've seen the last week or so. So by 6 p.m. tonight, it's going to be sunny, clear, and only 85 degrees. And then we drop down to the low 70s, mid to upper 60s across the region. Just northern counties a little bit cooler. We have a couple chances of very isolated rain showers tonight. As you can see, around 2 a.m. to about 8 a.m., very light, brief chances of those rain showers that are going to be shifting from the western counties, moving into our area. Until then, it's going to be mostly clear, but you can see very light showers, might not even make it to the ground. These are coming in 5 a.m. Tuesday, then moving into our central counties, Parsons, Veneta, then continuing on over to Joplin before it starts to clear out. You can see it's very isolated and very light chances of rain, so you might not even feel anything going on out there. Temperatures by Tuesday are going to be in the low 80s across the region. Southern counties, maybe a little bit warmer. You can see out in Tulsa, 91, Veneta, 85, but the rest of us are going to be low to mid 80s. It's going to feel really great out there. We've got low 60s for our overnight lows tomorrow. Like I said, brief isolated showers in the morning, clearing pretty early. And then we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Temperatures do start to warm right back up. And we're also seeing mid 90s, lower 90s. So we're seeing that trend go back up to average for this time of year. And then maybe a couple more chances in the rain later in the forecast.
Alrighty, we'll stick around. We're making pasta rustica in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is showing us how to make pasta rustica in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you think it takes too long to make a to die for from scratch dinner that your family will love, it's time to think again. That's right. You probably have the ingredients right in your pantry. So let's get started. We begin by sauteing some chopped garlic and onion in a good amount of olive oil until they're tender. To that, we add a can of crushed tomatoes, some black olives that we've cut in half, and a little salt and pepper. While this simmers for a bit, we drain some pasta that will serve it over. Now we add chicken broth and a little sugar. You see, the sugar reduces the acidity in the tomatoes. Come dinner time, all that's left to do is serve our homemade sauce over a piping hot pasta and top it with fresh basil. Maybe team that with a salad and a loaf of crusty bread for a meal that's restaurant worthy. To get the recipe for what we call pasta rustica, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found one of Kelly's favorite ways for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, you can, of course, find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. You can just go over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices. Well, does this face look familiar to you? In honor of back to school season here in the 4 states, Some of your favorite members of the KOAM team are taking a trip back in time and sharing photos from their school days. And we have a quiz on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, where you can guess who is who. Any guesses on who you think that is?
Well, I might not say, but I recognize that face immediately.
Yeah, I took the quiz earlier. It's really fun. You definitely want to go check it out. Lindsay's on there, but I'm not going to give any spoilers.
Well, except that picture was not Lindsay.
No.
Or Elise.
No.
Obviously. Yeah, I know that young man.
What if it was?
Well, then more power to you.
Oh, wow. But yes, great. And back to school. Pittsburgh is going back to school today. Joplin is back to school tomorrow. We'll, of course, be live from Cecil Floyd there tomorrow for our morning shows as well. What's that weather going to be looking like tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, you might start off with a couple of very isolated, very brief showers starting in those western counties, making it all the way till about Joplin and then dissipating. Again, it's very isolated, so you might not get anything. Outside of that, temperatures warming up to the low 80s to mid 80s across the region. It's going to be pretty cool. That trend continues Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we do start to warm right back up. Unfortunately, I know everyone's ready for fall, but by the weekend and early next week, temperatures return to average and slightly above average for this time of year. But oh yeah, I'm ready for fall. I'm ready to decorate for Halloween. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready for it all.
It is the best time of year in the 4 states.
Oh yeah,
For
definitely.
sure.
Gorgeous. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And some pumpkin spice too, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, Starbucks, they have the pumpkin bread. That's my favorite.
Ooh.
I love it.
We'll have to try.
I'm getting hungry.
Yes, there you go.
It's
Down with your first
lunchtime.
tonight.
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, the FDA has cleared the way for a new gel designed to stop severe bleeding in just seconds. We're going to take a look at that gel. It's made from algae. And again, it can be used to stop severe bleeding and trauma injuries. Really interesting. Plus, Missouri Southern receives a gift from Freeman Health System for the Roy Blunt Innovation Center. And again, students at Pittsburgh schools are among those returning to the classroom. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Lots to look forward to, as always. Thank you, Dow. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a